Aloha. All right. This is going to be quite a long one, but it's going to cover all the bases of what we spoke. Watch it if you want. Review it if you want. It's going to be pretty straightforward. High G, C, E, A. When I go up, these are all sharp. So if I went each individual note, I could say something along the lines of G goes to G sharp, C goes to C sharp, E goes to E sharp or F, and then A goes to A sharp or B flat. I could also say that G sharp, which is an A flat, goes to A. I could say that C sharp goes to D, that F goes to F sharp, and that B flat goes to, or A sharp, B flat goes to B. We have A to A sharp or G flat, C to C sharp or D flat. I'm sorry, D to D sharp or E flat. We've got F sharp going to G. We also have B going to C. This next one is going to be, I just blanked out, B flat going to B. We're going to have a D sharp going to an E, or E flat, D sharp going to E. G going to a G sharp or an A flat, and then a C going to a C sharp or a D flat. The next we're going to be having, 4 to 5, is going to be having our B going to a C note, or B sharp. No, it's not. It is. And then what is this? The third fret, E going to an F. We also have our A flat or G sharp going to an A, and then we have our C sharp or our D flat going to a D. This would thusly bring C to C sharp again, going full circle from here. And then the next one we're going to have F to F sharp, just like here, full circle. This is going to be A to B flat, or so full circle again. And then we have our D going to E flat or E. Each one of these, when we move up like this, has those same notes that keep getting represented. So in the process of taking like a C major, scooting it up to C sharp, and then barring D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, you should be able to know when you go what its relative inversions are. G major here, G major here, G major, G major, G major. You could pick those notes out and pick out every single one of these G major chords and be able to work it up the fretboard. Right? That along with your core scales for that note. So G major, do 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 da da. You can do that with every key. So one of the things that you can do in your downtime when you're not here with me in practice or with another teacher, figure out C major, C major. You could take your C major up here, C major. You could do your C major right here. You can do your backwards version of C major right here, right? So each one of these, there should be at least 3 or 4 or 5 different chords you can make from all the triads that you know. Meaning, if you find this like F, A, C, how about a B flat major? B flat major right here. We also have a B flat major right here. So there's a B flat major. If we were to take it up to here, there's an A, here's a B flat. B flat major right here. If we take it up top here, we B flat major right here. So the idea is find your triads and your inversions all over. There are only 2 types of inversions, first inversion and second inversion. First inversion starts off the 3rd, and then it puts the 1 all the way at the end. And the second inversion starts on the 5 and puts the 1 and the 3 all the way at the end. So a G second inversion would actually start with the 5th, G, A, B, C, D. So it'd have the G and the B all the way at the end. So an inversion for a second inversion would be a D, a G, a D, yeah, D, D, G, B. Ta-da. So, building chords, majors are 1, 3, 5. Minors are 1 flat 3, 5. When we have any chord, like a G major, we can make a G minor. If we flatten the 3rd, B to a B flat, we get our minor 3rd. But if we also flatten our 5th, we get a diminished. So G major, G major, G minor, G diminished, and there's also a 4th triad, which is our G augmented. That basically is a 1, 3, 5, and you raise the 5. You do this in any key. If you have an E major, you have a E, G, B, 1, 3, 5. Well, if we raise our B's up, we get E augmented. So the idea is, out of the 4 triads that you know how to play, majors, minors, diminished, and augmented, all of them manipulate the 1, 3, 5. When it comes down to it, all the music that we've worked on thus far moves within that same sort of structure. At this point, I do believe the next thing that puts you into a different category on this ukulele is doing the groundwork yourself and feeling out the chords. Meaning, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. C sharp major, D sharp minor, E sharp minor, F sharp major, G sharp major, A sharp minor, B sharp diminished, and C sharp major. D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished, and then D major. When you go through each and every single one of these chords, moving up and calling out the names, D flat major, E flat minor, F sharp minor, it puts a name to the actual physical representation. Since you know that you've got a major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, you already have the foundation to make every single one of these chords. So if you wanted to know what a B diminished is, and you didn't already know that it's a G7, where you take the 5th of any chord and turn it into a dominant chord, and that gives you your diminished. If you didn't know how to do that already, you could quite literally just spell out where you want to be with these chord structures, okay? So the next thing is finding more songs that you really enjoy, listening to them, utilizing your ear, and then trying to figure out if the notes that are down on these tablatures are actually quite correct. We've gone through an awful lot of types of music that did an awful lot of types of strumming, and what you'll notice is music is nothing more than a bunch of different rhythms in a different tempo and a different beat per minute with a different type of feeling. That feeling we call time signature. So 1, 2, 3, 4 could be 1, 2, 3, 4 playing whole notes. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, or they could be half notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, or they could be quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or they could be eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 16, 20 and 2 and 3, or 32nd notes. What comes out at 64th notes? I can't do it. I don't know if I'd physically be able to do that. Maybe if I had a pick in doing that, it would be there. So those rhythms move up and down in different things. That's 4/4. Then there's 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Half notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or half notes on a 3/4 would be 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and. It doesn't quite work, does it? There is no half of that besides 1.5. And then 2/4. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's kind of a march back and forth. When we go to different time signatures like 6/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can have that in 12. The idea is if you can fit 12 notes inside one measure, good for you. 6 is hard to do sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's very fast. In fact, the faster you go towards having 64 notes per measure, you would have more or less a note. Because each individual, when you speed it up, it just becomes a constant tone, a solid tone rather than partial notes between it. So, between knowing how to form chords out of every different triad, knowing the 4 different types of triads, knowing that almost all music is going to be in 4/4 or 3/4, subtle variations here and there, you're on a great way to take the next step with music. For you, my friend, I do believe rhythm is your next step with music. Watching you do the different beats that you were trying to register and get an ear out and try and make them last longer, fade out, in and out, put different lyrics with that. That's really cool. That's where a lot of rhythm comes in. What I would suggest is getting really familiar with doing your scales with your C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. You don't have to know the names of these notes to actually know the pattern of it. So I would say keep practicing this pattern for your major, and then get into your modal theory. You know the process by which to do this now, and it all bases itself off of this scale, the major Ionian. So in the key of D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. If I wanted a D minor, I would flatten the third, flatten the sixth, and flatten the seventh. So I would have D, E, F rather than F sharp. Then I would have G, A, B flat for my flat sixth, and then I would have C rather than a C sharp for my flat seventh, and then it resolves to D. Ooh, hit a flat note there. So those modal structures are all based out of C major. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C is a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. If I wanted to do Dorian, I would have whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step. See how I did that? If I wanted Phrygian, I would have whole step, no, sorry, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. If I wanted to do Lydian, I would have whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. When we do this, what we're quite literally doing is taking one of the intervals off at the beginning and putting it all the way at the end. The reason why we do this is when we're doing our standard progressions like C major to D minor to E minor to G major, a 1, 2, 3, 5. When we have that, we can play C major all day long over the top of that. Heck, we might even do a C Lydian, raised fourth, or a C Mixolydian if we had that dominant note, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. But when we go to that D minor, we only have a couple choices of our minor modes. We could use D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which is Dorian. We could also use D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, which is Phrygian. We could also use Aeolian, which is going to be D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. And those are just the minor modes. So for D, you can use any of those three. Since E minor is a minor, you can use any of those three as well. And then since G major goes back to a major, you have your choice between an Ionian, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, G Lydian, G, A, B, C sharp, D, with that raised fourth, or G Mixolydian, G, A, B, C, D, E, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Doesn't have that T, no, has that ta, no. So at this point, excuse me, you're able to look at a piece of music and know what the notes are because you know how to find out what key it's in. You know how to find out what the time signature is on how fast or slow it goes. You're able to read a couple different clues like forte with a big old F meaning loud, or P meaning piano for quiet. You also know if it's a fast, moderate tempo because they'll put a moderato or allegro or just something that we know from our metronome, something that counts. So if it's largo, it'll be about here. If it's legato, be about here. If it's andante, be like this. If it's rapido, rapidissimo, it's super fast. So, you know, a lot of vocabulary words. Some of the stuff that we've gone over are octaves. Like here's a C and here's a C. These are octaves. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. One frequency is doing this with peaks and troughs, and the other one's doing the same thing with double the amount of oscillations between the peak and the trough. So when we hit a G here and a G here, those are both the same frequency. But when we hit a G here and a G here, those are double the oscillations. The reason why we know that is because we could actually hear it dissipate about right there. And that's when a lot of key changes move. So I urge you to keep working on music in your spare time. I know that sports are awesome and fun. Keep music in your heart. I hope you do. If you don't come back with me, that's totally fine. No hard feelings. I hope you do, because I really enjoy learning with you. And then if not, find another teacher. See what their approach is. If you don't like it, you could always return back to me. Other than that, I'm really looking forward to you coming back after your schedule dies down a little bit. If nothing else, before you graduate, just so we can touch base. Other than that, I really appreciate you and your pops. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. If you see me out on the street, yell, "Hey, Wago," and I'll say hi, or you can ignore me. Either way, it was very nice meeting you. I hope you keep with this. Music is awesome. I hope you enjoy music as much as I enjoy teaching music. Aloha.